Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Abstract Essay, where ideas take shape, thoughts find depth, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. He's an author, entrepreneur, and differentiate your brand to win hearts, minds, and markets there. None other than Mr. Barry LaBov.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm happy to be here with you today. So let's have some fun.
Let's have fun under the sun. So, Mr. Barry, can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Sure. I am an author. I'm also the founder of a company called LaBov Marketing, Communication, and Training. We have one focus, and that is differentiation. We look for what's unique, what's distinctive in every brand. We identify it. We don't create it. We identify it. We help promote it, and we help celebrate it with the most important people first, and that is the employees, the people who build it, engineer it, program it, whatever it is, we celebrate it. So it's a very positive experience that we enjoy every day.
Mr. Barry LaBov, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the
Thank you.
world. Thank you. And let's talk about the strategic and emotional process of discovering
Mhm.
our leveraging brands. So tell us, you mentioned winning both hearts and minds. What is the difference between a brand being intellectually unique and emotionally unique, and which is more powerful for long-term loyalty?
Long-term loyalty, it's a no-brainer. You have to be emotionally exciting, emotionally connected as a brand to your customers, or you will miss out. And our process, Daniel, you ask about is we have a unique process called brand re-engineering. It's one of our differentiators, and we do 5 steps. I'll cover them very, very quickly. But the first step is what we call a brand assessment, which is we go in and we talk to human beings about what you do. We ask them, what is Daniel doing that he should never change? What are the things that are going on here that are really special? Anyway, we go in, we have a few tricks of the trade that help us get that information from human beings, from people who know the brand, who are customers, suppliers, employees. We then go to step number 2, which nobody in the world does, and that is what we call a technical immersion. We go into the facility, we look at all of the technology, the equipment, whatever, and we dig in and we are looking for that uniqueness, that unbelievable magic that is walked past every day. Nobody pays attention to it because we do it all the time, right? We
Yes.
find that, we identify it. We then name it. We give it its own personality because many of us who have children don't have child 1, 2, or 3. We give our children names and we tell people about them. Well, same thing about our differentiation. Then what is so important, Daniel, before it is then launched to the world and we tell the world about it, we tell the most important people first, and that's the employees. And we celebrate it. We don't just give them information, we celebrate it and we share with them the difference that they're making and how what they're doing is part of what we are all about. Hopefully, they buy into it. They understand you're being genuine and they become your army to go out there and win over the customer base and the world.
And the world indeed. And tell us, why is brand's true uniqueness rarely found in a product's features or specs? And where should leaders look instead to find it?
Well, quite often, the reason we don't find it is we have 3 enemies fighting us. One enemy is the commodity monster, is what we call it. And that is the fact that you're going to be pressured to look like, act like, smell like, taste like, and price like everybody else. And you have to fight that. So that's one enemy that we sometimes give into. Another is perfection. We call it the perfect trap. It's so easy to wait and wait and wait before we start to share what we do because it's not perfect yet. Or to look at what we do and say, it's not the best, it's not perfect. Well, it is unique. We have to identify that, even if it's not perfect. And then the third enemy is myopia, meaning we can't really see the big picture. We're too close to what we're doing. We need somebody to help us. So those are our three enemies. And if we can get past that and realize that, hey, we're doing something unique, something valuable, not necessarily perfect, but something unique. If we can get to that point, then we're on our way to differentiate.
Mr. Barry, how does Simon Sinek's concept of starts with why from the foundational bedrock for discovering a brand's authentic uniqueness rather than just a surface level differentiation?
Great question. So here's an example. Let's pretend you're at a factory and you have a plant that's producing a lot of different products, right? Your differentiation is not necessarily that product or this product or the other product that you're producing all over the place. It is very, very likely, let's say it's your engineering genius, which is why, that's what Simon talks about with start with the why. It's the why of what you're doing. So let's say you're an engineering company and you're dedicated to brilliant, cutting edge innovation, and it's in every one of your products. Well, that's the why. Because, and this is something for our audience to remember, your brand lives inside your products or technology. It's what's inside of what you create. So it's not the one product or the one feature. It's what your brand is about, which delivers numerous products and features that embody it.
And what does the process of discovering uniqueness look like for a founding team? Is it an expectation or of their own origin story, values, or obsessions?
That's a great question. When we work with companies, Daniel, they're normally pretty successful, even though they don't feel they are. They've been in business for 10 years, 20 years, sometimes 100 years, sometimes 200 years. And quite often, the founders who started that company had a vision, and that DNA is still living inside that company. And what our job is when we come in is to dust that off, is to reclaim it, re-honor it, because it is there. It's why that company was founded. And so much of what they're doing today is because of it. So quite often what happens is we discover it, we validate it, of course, and the employees and the leaders all of a sudden feel this amazing sense of pride. And they realize, that's why I came to this company, or that's why my father founded the company. That's why these customers buy our products. And we need to go back to those basics and make sure that we are honoring them in everything we do.
Mr. Barry, how can a customer feedback, especially for your most passionate fans, reveal your uniqueness to you, the thing you take for granted that they love most?
Well, you ask those wonderful people who have been buying from you and been loyal, what is it that we should never change? It's as
Mm.
simple as that. What should we never change? Are we doing something that you're going, please, whatever you do, don't stop doing that. Find out what that is. It could be a process, it could be an experience that you deliver to them, it could be some innovation that they love. Find out what it is, because many times, as we know, as entrepreneurs, we're willing to change anything. Well, I'm here to tell you, find out what you should never change, and you will make great progress.
Yes, find out, people, find out for sure.
That's
What
right.
is what is the exercise for finishing this sentence? We are the only ones who blank the force clarity on truly ownable market position.
We are the only people who blank, you're saying?
Yes.
We could say a number of different things. We could say we are the only people who have pioneered whatever this is. We are the only people who have created a process to determine this. We are the only people who are producing an environmentally product or innovation that can achieve this. We have to realize that we are doing something unique, but just like the old saying, which was, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there, did it make a noise? Same thing here. If we don't share what we do that's unique, people are going to go, I don't know if they do anything special. They're just like everyone else.
Hmm. Yes. And Mr. Barry, what are the most common generic brand traits that companies mistakenly believe make them unique?
I love this question. Uh, there are 200,000 words in the English language. Yet, how many companies out there, including some of the folks listening or watching, use the same words for their company, their brand, and their products, such as service, selection, quality, value, world class, etc.? Those are wasted words. They're like wasted calories. It's like you're eating a food and it's wasted calories. It does nothing good for you. We have to steer clear of those. I'll give you one really quick example. A truck manufacturer we work with told us that one of the things they have great pride in is their rigor, RIGOR, their rigor.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden it occurred to me, Daniel, who in the world has rigor as a core value, as an example? And I couldn't think of anybody. And I said, that's a differentiator for you. Rigor. It's the willingness to work hard and not give up and make sure that what you're doing is exacting. Rigor, as an example, is a far better word than quality, because everybody promises it. And I'll say one more thing, because I really do believe this so deeply. Avoid words that not only have no meaning, but over time have become actually less special. So, as an example, the word quality, way back when quality was something that was started to be mentioned about a product, it had one meaning, and that was it's very well made. Today, we have premium quality, gold level quality, platinum quality, entry level quality, you know, value level quality. We have all these descriptors for quality. Therefore, everybody, it means nothing. Don't use the word quality. Come up with a new one. We have 200,000 of them to choose from.
Hmm. Yes, lots of them for sure. And how can focusing too much on the competition actually prevent a brand from discovering its most authentic and compelling uniqueness?
Great question. The danger of focusing on and obsessing on and trying to imitate your competition is you will lose your differentiation, very possibly, in the process. So if you have a certain look for your product, a certain design, but the competition's doing something different and you're kind of excited about what they're doing, beware. It may be something you should not change. If the competition has decontented or dumbed down their product to be cheaper, beware, if you dumb down your product and reduce the uniqueness of it, you will become just like that company. So we have to identify the fact that we are not for everybody. Your product will not be bought by every human being or every company on the planet. Celebrate that. We are not for everybody because a lot of people want blank, 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 and blank. We don't offer that. We offer this because we believe these things, which make it better. If that sounds good to you, buy our product. And we have to stand firm.
Firm is the key, people. Firm. Be firm in everything. So, tell us, how do you translate an internal feeling of uniqueness into an external, crystal clear marketing message and individual identity?
Well, here's how you do it. They should be one in the same. They are the same. The way we can express what we're doing internally and how it's important and how it's making a difference for our customers, whether we're saving lives or whether we're just making the life of somebody a little better. We have to share and celebrate that internally. As I mentioned, that exact message, not a different one, that exact message must be shared to the world because number one, it's what you're about. It's genuine. It makes it easier for you to work every day to grow and build your company because you're not trying to be different things to different people. You are one brand, you are one company, you are one vision. That's how you communicate it.
Yes, for sure. And how does brand ensure that its discovered uniqueness is consistently communicated across every single touch point from sales calls to packaging to social media?
We have to realize that our communication, whether it's to our employees, our dealers, our distributors, or our customers, is not a one-time event or a twice a year time event, let's say. It's not. It's every single touch point must reinforce what we are about. I tell leaders, if you're going to wait for your company picnic or your annual meeting to share what you're doing and why it's special, don't even talk about it when that meeting comes because it's not worth it. It'll all be forgotten. You need to be communicating it every day in every touch point, every chance you can. Your messaging is not a one-time or two-time event. It is part of you. It's part of your communication program so that you can help inspire your sales team, your customers, and your employees.
And on winning hearts and minds, Mr. Barry,
Yes.
what role does storytelling play in transforming a unique brand attribute from a mere fact into an emotional connection with the audience?
I'll tell you, your questions are fantastic. Here is a great insight I want to share about telling your story. Everybody, it's not just tell a story, it's tell a meaningful, significant story that differentiates you. Here's an example. Let's say you're an ambulance manufacturing company and your story is as simple as this. 30 years ago, three guys got together, started building ambulances. We now sell 3,000 a year and we have a factory that's 140,000 square feet. Okay, that's a story. It's a terrible story. It means nothing to anybody. If your story has meaning and significance, it'll be different. So here's a quick example. 30 years ago, three EMTs with medical expertise came together because they wanted to build the safest ambulance possible because they saw too many ambulance accidents in their lives. They then came up with numerous innovations and hired people at their plant, including first responders, to make sure their product was the best. Now, to me, the second story gives me inspiration about, wow, these three people got together. They understood it, and I know what they care about. That's the difference. Your brand story has to be significant. It's got to touch hearts and minds. It cannot just be a laundry list of how many people, how many years, and how big your factory is.
Yes, definitely. And how does a clearly defined uniqueness attract not just a customers but evangelists who proudly adopt the brand as a part of their own identity?
It's so important that you share what your brand is about, that ideally people will tattoo it on their body parts. So, so
I
whether you're
like that.
right, whether you're mom, a lot of people have mom, or whether you're the Navy, the Marines, Harley Davidson as an example, or a Disney character. Some people have Disney characters. If you can touch people emotionally and they really care, you have a chance to have your brand tattooed on their heart. You touch them so they feel that you understand them and that they are actually part of your story.
Part of the story for sure. And that's a good thing. That's a good sign that your brand is famous.
Yes.
For sure. And how does a well defined and communicated uniqueness allow a brand to command higher prices and to move away from competing on prices alone?
It's the only way you can move from competing on price alone, because otherwise you are giving in to the commodity monster. You are trying to be like everyone else. You identify what makes you different. This sounds scary when I say the next part. That means you're not going to try to appeal to every single possible customer. It means you're going to appeal to the right customer that will value what makes you unique. And they will be very likely to pay more money because what makes you unique is something they find interesting and appealing, and they want it. The other guys out there that don't, they don't care about those people. They want to work with you. You can command a premium price when you do that.
Mr. Barry, what is the first question a business leader should ask if their team this week is start the process of uncovering their true uniqueness?
Well, I mentioned the question of what is it that we should never change? I'll give you a second question that is very valuable. Let's say you don't think you do anything unique, there's nothing. This is a question that has worked every time. Think about what you produce, whether it's technology or products, whatever it is. What is it that takes a little more extra time or extra money, resources, whatever you want to call it, than the minimum? I'll say it again. What is it that takes a little extra time or more resources than the minimum to produce? What you'll find is there will be something. You'll say, "Well, it's we do the we put a special grain in our bread that costs 5 times what the normal grain would be, but we do it." And then we'll go, "Why?" "Well, the bread tastes better." Well, that's a differentiator. You did extra work, paid extra money. You need to identify it, name what that grain is. I asked the person in that case, "What do you call that grain?" And he goes, "We just call it grain." We said, "Okay, name it." It's not child one, two, or three. You name your kids, name your differentiator. So ask that question, and you will find that you're doing something for some reason, and you got to stop at that moment and go, wait a minute, this may be a differentiation.
Yes, maybe. This may be for sure. So, what is the one powerful, open ended question to ask a customer in an interview to uncover what they truly value and sees the unique about their brand?
You ask them, if you were our company, what would you do What would you not change? And what might you change? You put that customer in your shoes. That way they can say, well, if I were you guys, I'd be, that's what you want to know.
Mm, that's awesome. And Mr. Barry, does discovering your uniqueness also mean identifying what you should stop doing or saying to avoid diluting your message?
Absolutely. You determine what you do and you use those 200,000 words to come up with the right language. And then you do the next step here, Daniel. Look at your competitor's language and make sure you don't use their language. If they use the word innovation, innovation, innovation all the time, come up with a different word. Stop using their words. Use your own language so that you have your own identity.
Yes. Use your own unique identity,
Mhm.
people. And can you share a story of a brand that brilliantly discovered and leveraged a simple yet powerful point of uniqueness to capture market share?
Yes, we worked with a copper rod processor. So that does not sound very exciting, but it is for our company. We love that kind of company. And they were selling their product, which was recycled copper rod, recycled products that then turned into copper rod. They were selling it at the lowest price. They were not making any money doing it. Their customers nicknamed them the cheap copper guys. That's what they were known as, the cheap copper guys. We then identified the fact that that copper that they were producing was the only environmentally friendly copper rod produced in the United States. They were the only company that could produce it. There were many, many companies out there that wanted an environmentally friendly product to meet code in the various buildings and other things they were involved with. We then said, let's name the copper process, which was called infinity, meaning it will last forever because it's coming from recycled or reclaimed copper products, whatever, cell phones or wires, whatever. And from that, they then charged a premium for their product. They are the number one market share copper rod producer in the United States, and they have the premium price.
The premium price for sure. I like that. And Mr. Barry, in fast changing market, how does a brand ensure its core uniqueness remains relevant while still adapting and innovating?
By staying in touch with your customers, by looking at what is going on around you in the world, whether it's technology, whether it's new approaches, whether it's a new political environment. It's staying relevant. And at any point, backing off and saying, okay, have we lost our focus? Or are we at the moment, are we in need of refreshing what makes us unique and what the customer wants? And with that, you then go to the customer base as well as your loyal employees. And again, you ask them, if you were us, what would you be doing right now? What would you be offering?
Mr. Barry, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101, Love Letters in third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Barry, in the end result of this process, simply increase sales, or it's something deeper like creating a legacy, a movement, or a beloved institution?
It is truly winning the hearts and minds of people who work with and for you, who believe in your product to buy it. And what it's also all about is giving you, the leader, a moment to actually feel proud of what you're doing and realize that you're doing something unique. You're doing it intentionally, and you're changing the lives of others for the better. For the better, and there's nothing more important than that.
For the better, for sure. Mr. Barry LaBov, an author, entrepreneur, and of course, differentiating your brand to win hearts and minds and market share. Can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that
Sure.
you're doing right now?
Sure. Please check out Amazon and look for my book, The Power of Differentiation. You can just look Barry LaBov, Amazon. You'll find it. Please read it and leave an honest review. We love it. We have wonderful reviews. Also,
Yes.
feel free to visit my company's website, labov.com, and visit me on LinkedIn. I will respond to every inquiry. I'm happy to help anybody.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Barry LaBov because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering books to come, more and more empowering businesses for sure, and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Mr. Barry, thank you so much for your time.
Daniel, thank you. Fantastic job.
You are most welcome, and more to come, people. See you soon.